it was one of those things where even Bret Hart wouldn't. He wouldn't. He was not going to do that job in Montreal.
Right.
I mean, it's just that simple.
And that's 20 years later.
He can say, "Well, I wasn't going to do it in Canada," but Bret, you're lying. You were not going to do that job. Period. Just like none of us would have. Nobody. Shawn Michaels wouldn't have done the job either. Nobody's going to. That's our mentality we had, and the kind of we didn't have those guaranteed contracts where go out and do this, you're going to get paid no matter what.
Sure. That's the thing is these young guys, they have no facial expressions. Everything looks like a flat line, like this.
And then they have no body movement.
Exactly.
Bret Hart got away with it because at least he had body movement. Bret didn't have any facial expression, but I mean, he was.
And then eventually it became his gimmick because he was like the stoic.
Right.
So, but
no, he was something, huh? Bret Hart did. Let me get to that. Let me get to Bret Hart real quick. This motherfucker does an interview. He does an interview and he tells people that I worked too soft. I wasn't stiff enough.
That's the art form.
I wasn't stiff enough. So I say this. Hey, Bret, if you had to work a program with somebody for the next 5 years, who would you want to work with? Me, who never hurt you, or Goldberg, who gave you one kick to the fucking head and gave you a seizure? Now, you tell me. Was it not a stroke? That's what it was. Totally put you out of business, Bret. Put you out of the business, but I work too soft for you.
So I'm gonna guess there's some animosity here.
Well, I mean, don't go tell somebody I work too soft, and the guy that worked too hard kicked you in the head and ended your damn career.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's kind of hard. I mean, if I say, listen, Raven, I like you. You never hurt me. We had great matches. But if the next guy that came along kicks me in the head and almost killed me, I wouldn't go, oh, you know, Raven and I had great matches, but they weren't as good as they could have been. Wow, this guy kicked you in the fucking head. You're out of the business. Who'd you rather be in the ring with, Raven or this guy? And I was always good friends with Bret. We had good matches together because I understood his style and I learned to adapt to what he did, which was the same thing every night. Kind of like Ric Flair, you know. Woo!
Yeah, I always thought that was ironic that Bret healed on Ric on Flair for doing the same thing every night, and then he did the same thing. I never got that.
Stu and I have had a great relationship. Had a great relationship with all the sons up there, every one of them. You know, sometimes I talk about Bret and Bret's attitude and not ever wanting to lose in Canada. Bret never wanted to lose anywhere, whether it be in Canada or anywhere else. But they were all good guys. There's a respect there with us because we were there and we suffered through together. That'll never be broken. That bond's great.
What do you remember about Bret from those days? I mean, what was he like?
Like always, Bret's never changed. He's still the same. Most of us are still the same. We don't ever change. Bret's notorious for showing up late. He was, you know, that was the thing that he had told Bischoff one time when Bischoff interviewed him for coming to WCW. I do have one problem. I show up late. Bret will show up. I mean, if the show starts at 8 and he's in the main event and he's not going to go to the ring till 10, he'll show up at 9 or 9:30. I mean, it kind of puts a promoter in a situation. Gosh, is the guy going to show up? Well, he always does show up. He never misses unless it's something extraordinary. Hard worker, dedicated. He has one match worked out that works for him very well, and he does that same match over and over again, much like Ric Flair. Mind you, he can do a lot of stuff, but he you know, he's at a point in his career where he didn't have to do a lot. He does the same match over and over. Very bland interview, I thought. He's always been that way. Most Canadian guys are that way. Not a lot of expression. Bret never showed any expression, either in interviews or if a guy was stomping him in the head, he still had the same expression on his face. He was expressionless.
Right.
Got a big push in the WWF for some reason that I don't know why. Great tag team. They had the Hart Foundation thing was good. Bret by himself, he was okay. He did okay. The numbers of him doing sellout business like Hogan did or Bruno or Superstar Billy Graham, you know, we'll leave that to the historians.
I don't know what Kurt Angle does. I don't know what Bret. I know what Bret does. The one promoter, I said, "How was Bret?" He said, "Well, it took a half hour for him to say the word and." Excellence of execution. Bullshit. So Bret, anyway, Bret writes in his book. Now I'll talk like Bret because Bret has like 10 brothers and 2 or 3 sisters. There's a whole bunch of them fuckers. And Stu talked. And Honky Tonk Man, he's having a talent. Goddamn, he's hard to control. He's always bitches about his fucking money. I tell Stu one night we got a sold out house. And I walk up behind him, he's standing there, got his old leather jacket on, he's leaning over sideways. I walk up right up in his ear, because I knew Stu used to go on Tuesday to the Safeway supermarket and look for reduced meat. I leaned up in his ear and I went, you know, I would like to have us, because the houses were sold out and Stu was not giving me any extra money. I said, you know, I'd like to have a steak every now and again myself. He did not hesitate. He turned right around and went, goddamn it, if you think the grass is greener somewhere else, go graze in another pasture. Just that fast, he told me if I didn't like what was he telling me? If you don't like what I'm paying you, you can pack your bag and leave. And I didn't say another word. I just walked away. And the next week, he gave me a $100 bonus. Actually raised my check $100 for the rest of the time I was there. And I was there like 2 different times over a 5-year period. It's Stu and 10 of his sons and 3 of his daughters. It's like, Honky Tonk Man, do you really want this aggravation? I must have loved it. But anyway, Bret was, God bless her. Natty Nyhart, Jim's daughter. I look at the TV, she looks like Jim. And when she is talking, not on TV, and I love that she's a great talent, she pulls at her chin like Jim. You know, that Jake Roberts, Jake don't share. What do you mean he doesn't share? Well, you remember that show we had and nobody wanted to do the finish with Jake? Yeah, he won't share. What do you mean? He had a big rock like this big and he wouldn't share it. So anyway, Bret puts in his book that he goes into Jim's room and Jim went, can you believe that? Bret said I had a mound of cocaine. And Jim's very animated. A mound of cocaine. But Bret put in his book that it was Jim's. And Jim says, but Bret never said he was the first one to drop over there and go out of that. So, but I like Bret and I, Bret put in his book, he did not like working with me because I didn't hit him hard enough. I was too soft on him. Well, Goldberg kicked him in the head one time. Come on, did he not? Tell me. Yep. Put Bret out of the business, gave Bret a stroke. Bret couldn't raise a flag anymore. That's all. I said all this. But Bret put in his book that I was too soft on him. And here's a guy that kicked him in the head one time, put him out of the business the rest of his life. So my comeback was this. Who had you rather be in the ring with every night for the next year, for the next 5 years, for the rest of your career? Me or the guy that kicked you in the fucking head and put you out of the business?